welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is our first virtual STEM Innovation Summit. The TSIN team is looking forward to engaging with you in a new way. We have an incredible experience planned for you. We'll be recognizing schools and individuals across Tennessee and bring a little magic to the experience this evening. Tonight is a celebration of hard work, innovative thinking, and passion for STEM education. All of our awardees have embraced the courage to try new things, even in the midst of significant change. We are so grateful to the teachers, the leaders, and the students that have worked hard to create a learning experience that inspires the next generation of innovators. Many of you joining us this evening have been a part of our STEM family for years, and many of you are joining our community for the first time. For those of you that don't know, I'm Brandy Stroker, Network Director, and tonight I'm joined by the rest of the TSIN team, which you'll get to hear from later this evening. In recapping the past year, one word comes to mind: resilience. Resilience refers to how well one deals with and bounces back from difficult situations. And I can't think of a better way to describe what we've seen from the educational community this year. Resilience is a way of being, a culture. Resilient schools transform in times of need, having built the beliefs, the attitudes, and the structures to move forward and innovate the learning experience, no matter what the challenge is. Tonight is about celebrating the determination and ingenuity demonstrated this year. We'll be recognizing 35 schools that have earned STEM school designation and 8 STEM Excellence Award winners, as well as the statewide Student Design Challenge winners for 2020 and 2021. This work would not be possible without those that value STEM learning. Commissioner Schwinn has continued to be a strong supporter and advocate for authentic learning experiences, and the network is proud of our partnership with the Department of Education and how our impact continues to grow and expand under her leadership. One of our biggest champions is Deborah Knoll, Director of K-12 Programs and STEM Initiatives. Her work has allowed the exponential growth of STEM broadly across the state. So I'd like to invite Deborah to come up and say a few words.
Good evening. I am Deborah Knoll, Director of K-12 Programs and STEM Initiatives at the Tennessee Department of Education. I would like to now introduce you to Commissioner Schwinn, Commissioner for the Department of Education.
Congratulations for your STEM designations. This year, we continue to see an incredible amount of interest in STEM designations across the state. You know that with that intentional planning and focus on collaboration, on creativity, and on engaging instruction, our students will thrive. Thank you for your commitment to this work. Thank you for ensuring that STEM education is a priority in the state of Tennessee. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do for our kids.
Thank you, Commissioner Schwinn, for taking the time today to show your support for STEM in Tennessee. With your words today and through the recently announced expanded Future Workforce Initiative, you have directly amplified the momentum and increased the awareness for integrating STEM strategies and career awareness K-12 across the state of Tennessee. STEM as a concept, both nationally and here in Tennessee, had a slow start. As educators, we knew the strategies and applications associated with STEM were valuable to all students. We knew that there was a need for STEM professionals to fill the job demand our state was heading into. But we still had questions. What needed to be answered first? What did STEM mean to our state? What did it look like? The TSIN was established along with the STEM Leadership Council to help answer these questions. And here we are, 11 years later, and we're one of the leading states in STEM transformation. The STEM Strategic Plan was accepted back in November 2016, and since then we haven't looked back. The plan has given us a roadmap that is both intentional and purposeful. It has allowed us to create STEM school designation not as a one-off, but as a fully integrated plan that uses the same terminology, the same rigor, and the same expectation across all initiatives. And that is why it has been so successful. The schools that have earned the honor of the STEM school designation didn't implement their STEM strategies in silos. They worked as a community of teachers. They have seen their students' eyes light up when they reach a tough concept that comes to life when applied to real-world They have seen the power of connecting to industries in the communities to reach beyond simple career fair. Having someone from a manufacturing company come to the classroom, talking about what occupations they have just outside their front door, sharing pathways on how to get there. That is powerful. That is life-changing. I know that you're energized and inspired to get started on this 2-day journey to take everything you've learned back to your school and implement it. I challenge each of you not to do this alone. It is easy to sit in our classroom silos and do these amazing things with only our students, but doesn't every student deserve the best instruction, the best that you can offer? We teach our students amazing STEM strategies, problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration. We need to start practicing what we preach. We need to start to build communities of teachers within our schools and break down the walls that stand between all of us by coming together to do these things. That is how real change happens. Let your lessons become those dinner table discussions for your students. Become the narrative to these dinner topic discussions. The STEM school designation is a roadmap that we have crafted that simply lays out the gold standard of implementation that should look like in your school. Whether you're in elementary, middle, or high school, from a rural or urban setting, any school can achieve this that has a drive and passion for implementing STEM strategies as a community. It is a process that you may not be sure you're ready for, and you're just beginning to look at this embedding STEM and career awareness into your school. I encourage you to go to the TSIN's website at tsin.org and download a copy of the rubric, as it'll give you the roadmap on how to get there. Reach out and connect to a STEM designated school and seek answers to your questions and begin to build a community of teachers beyond the walls of your individual schools. The Tennessee STEM Innovation Network and the Tennessee Department of Education are here to help. Use us as resources. There are thousands of students reaping the benefits, finding their own accomplishments in school, and extending that success, building up their communities right here in Tennessee. Albert Einstein once said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." By giving your students authentic problems, using these critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration skills, you're not only preparing them well for the content, you're preparing your students for life. Thank you for teaching our students and for giving them a gift of love of learning through STEM.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Our work would not be possible without you and the efforts that you put into expanding STEM across the state. We appreciate everything that you do. So we want tonight to be memorable for everyone tuning in. Our theme for this year is innovation. So to innovate virtual engagement, we have an incredible guest joining us tonight. Our co-host is a magician and speaker who has worked at events around the world, inviting guests to join in on the magic and in a truly immersive way. He's here today to show us the magical impact STEM education and innovation is making each day for students across Tennessee. So please welcome to your screens, Drew Murray.
Yeah, Drew.
Hello. Hello. Hello to our friends across the state. Thank you to Brandy, and thanks to my in-studio audience. You ready to have your minds blown? Yes. Ready to have your minds blown, people at home? I hope so. And as I was listening to the opening comments, it's so great to hear how innovation really does push these kids to come up with new, big, bright ideas. I have an idea right here. It's a deck of cards. It's a magician's rule of thumb. I must do a card trick. And if you wouldn't mind, hold on to that right there for me. Now we're going to get some ideas from our audience. And Brandy, I'll have you kick us off. In the deck of cards, there are 52 different cards. There are picture cards, there are number cards. I want you to imagine right now in your mind, yes, very good. Imagine picture cards and number cards. Can you do that for me?
Yep.
2 groups. I want you to throw one group way up into the air, and you're gonna catch one. You're gonna catch one of the groups. Which one did you catch, the picture or the number? The number. Put them in your pocket, throw them away. We're not gonna use them. You have the picture cards left, yes?
Yes.
Okay, out of the picture cards, do you want a jack, queen, or king?
Queen.
Queen, okay. Because you're a queen, right? Yeah. And we'll jump over to you. Your first name? Becky. So she says a queen. Out of the queens, do you want a red one or a black one?
I want a
Red one, okay. And then we'll end with you.
Okay.
Don't let the red dress sort of sway your decision. But out of the red queens, do you want a heart or a diamond?
Oh, diamond.
Diamonds. No diamonds here. I said everything starts with an idea. And before the event, before we started broadcasting, I actually had an idea, and I placed it inside this box. It is a deck of cards, as you would imagine. And there are 52 cards, as I said, but you could have said any card, the Queen of Diamonds, right? If I go through the pack, you will see every single card is facing towards me, except there's one card facing the other way. And just so people watching at home know, we didn't set this up before the show, right? Okay. Just like we practiced. I'm kidding. We didn't set this up before the show. That's the Queen of Diamonds. But what's really bizarre is it's actually the only card that you could have picked, because it's the only one with a different back. And if that's bizarre, it really is the only option that you could have had, because my idea was crystal clear. That's the only card inside the pack. If you're watching at home, give these guys a round of applause. But I did say that all magic and all ideas, innovation teaches these kids to have big, bright ideas. This is my big, bright idea. What do you think?
Love it.
It's a balloon, but it tells a nice story. You know, 2020 really is the year that taught us about resilience. And it taught all the educators how to adapt. It even showed our kids that sometimes we have to learn when we are torn apart. And at times, those big, bright ideas may have seemed like they were out of reach. But the work that you're doing across Tennessee for all of these kids teaches them that when we come together as a community, that's how we make the real magic happen. When we collaborate with other like-minded people and people from outside of our industry, that's when our cool ideas actually begin to stick. But it's not just about having ideas that stick. It's about having ideas that can grow. And with the work that you're doing and the work that you're all doing here, you're letting these kids take their ideas to the moon. I'll be back in just a bit. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Brandy.
Thank you, Drew. That was amazing. Could not agree more. It's the work that we are all doing collaboratively together that makes these things possible. So, moving into our first awards block, STEM school designation honors those schools that have the systems and structures in place to support a school-wide culture of inquiry, integrated learning experiences for every student, and strong community partner involvement. These schools are bright spots across the state that put the learning experience at the forefront of everything that they do. Schools that earn designation are recognized by the Tennessee Department of Education as model schools and as state leaders by sharing best practices and mentorship through network programming. Governor Lee continues to invest in STEM education and support these schools by providing $10,000 grants to expand their STEM programming through the Future Workforce Initiative. We appreciate that continued support and the opportunity to expand STEM in a powerful way. Tonight, we are recognizing the schools that earned STEM designation in 2020 and 2021. Please leave comments in the chat as we highlight each school. They would love to hear from you. Our first set of STEM designated schools are Ashland City Elementary, STEM Academy, Cheatham County Schools, Bradley Academy, Murfreesboro City Schools, Cleveland High School, Cleveland City Schools, Irma Siegel Elementary School, Murfreesboro City Schools, Harrison Elementary, Hamilton County Schools, Hickson Middle School, Hamilton County Schools, Kenwood High School STEM Academy, Clarksville Montgomery County Schools, and Memphis Academy of Science and Engineering, Shelby County Schools. Congratulations to all of these schools and everything that you do every day for your students and your communities. And there are more to come. Not only do we want to recognize schools for their commitment to STEM education, we also want to call attention to the teachers that make this work possible. Our first set of STEM Excellence Awards are the Excellence in STEM Teaching Awards for 2020 and 2021. The Excellence in STEM Teaching Award recognizes a teacher who exemplifies integrated, STEM-infused teaching strategies, classroom innovation, and whose work has led to positive student learning outcomes. Our 2020 award winner is Nikki Russell, STEM teacher from Orchard Knob Elementary, Hamilton County Schools. Nikki is passionate about providing students authentic opportunities to explore challenges, design solutions, and engage in scientific problem solving. Nikki has taught a variety of elementary grades, has led numerous field experiences for her students, and has led a community-wide STEM collaboration for educators within her district. She is a tremendous advocate for STEM for all, with a deep passion for serving underserved communities. Congratulations, Nikki. Our 2021 Excellence in STEM Teaching Award winner is Ben DeChara, STEM teacher, Peabody High School in Trenton Special School District. Ben teaches his students to think, to solve problems, to be independent, and to take ownership of their learning. He encourages students to work as a team and to collaborate. Ben has built the STEM program at Peabody High School from the ground up and is expanding his influence by leading the Trenton Special School District STEM initiative. Ben is passionate about helping prepare students for real-world jobs by developing students' skill sets in high-demand career fields. Congratulations, Ben. Thank you both for all that you do for students in Tennessee. Please send Nikki and Ben a quick congratulations note in the chat. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to invite Drew to come back up. What's next, Drew?
Oh, you just wait and see. Okay, so now that we've been warmed up a little bit and you know what to expect, I figured we'd do some close-up magic at the table. And this is also a great story because magic is just a problem. That's all it is. Magic is a problem that you can't solve, or that someone like myself takes an obnoxious amount of time to figure out. Magic is also a great metaphor because I'm going to use these cards to show you how we can use STEM learning and STEM education to go from problem to solution, from mystery to an answer. And I'll use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 cards. We'll have 2 piles of 10. So if you wouldn't mind, can you just kind of keep an eye on those? You can leave them there. And then hold your hand out for me. I'm going to count these just in case there's skeptics at home or here. We'll count them one more time. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. 2 hands on top of those for me, and you can leave it right there. Lovely. So here's what's going to happen. If you're watching at home or in the audience here, you're going to memorize one of these cards. I'll spread them sort of across the table so you can see them. If you want to double count, you can. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Memorize just one of them. Now, don't memorize the ace. That's the one that's closest to me. That's the obvious one. That's the one Brandy's memorizing. Memorize just one playing card from the pack. Give you a moment to do that. Hopefully at home you have one as well. Do what you need to do. Don't say your card out loud. But here's the problem. I don't know what card you're thinking of. I don't know what card you're thinking of. I don't know what card at home you're thinking of. But I do know that I can use science and magic together to get to the solution. And here's the idea. Using the glass and using the cards and using a little drawing I made before of a simple arrow, we can use light refraction to move one playing card from this pile to this pile. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
You don't believe me? Okay.
No.
Watch close. Watch the arrow. You'll see from the front, it's pointing to the pile on my left, the pile where you thought of a card. But if I slowly slide across the glass, you should see the arrow begin to flip right there and comes out the other side. And what's bizarre is that actually makes the magic happen. I'll show you what I mean. You'll see now if we count the cards, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And your card, the card you were thinking of, is completely gone from the rest. Mm-hmm. If you would do me a favor, can you count those onto the table for everyone?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
There's now 11 cards. Thanks to the magic of science, and I think you'll be impressed to see that the card you were thinking of has now traveled from one pile to the next. Any questions? I'm sure there's a lot of questions. I'll be back with some more magic in just a bit.
Thank you, Drew. I need to solve the problem. I don't know if I can move on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Moving into our next awards block, I would love to invite my colleague, Kristen McQueen, STEM Relationship Manager, up to take us through our next set of STEM Designated School Awards.
Thank you, Brandy. Yeah, I don't know about all you guys, but I'm still on a high from that. I don't know how I did it. Before joining the network, I supported my former school through the STEM designation process. And I've been able to experience firsthand the impact of rooting a school in STEM initiatives and watching it blossom into a STEM school. Teachers and leaders at STEM designated schools are opening doors for students in all types of backgrounds and communities. Stakeholders are actively involved in providing numerous opportunities for not only our students, but for our teachers as well. STEM strengthens critical thinking, it fosters collaboration, and at its core, it prioritizes problem-based learning. Taken together, these skills have the power to give a rise to a new generation of learners. Students are naturally curious. They benefit from knowing that they can make a difference in their community. Now let us celebrate. Congratulations to the following schools for earning STEM designation in 2020. Let me grab my glass. Will you hand me my glass, please? Because we're going to cheers together. So at home, grab your glasses and your sparkling cider. Cheers to all of you.
Cheers.
Midway Middle School, Roane County Schools. Mount Pleasant Elementary, Murray County Schools. Mount Pleasant High School, Murray County Public Schools. Mount Pleasant Middle School, Murray County Public Schools. Normal Park, Hamilton County Schools. Peabody High School, Trenton Special Schools. Petros Joyner Elementary School, Morgan County Schools. Pope John Paul II High School. Portland East Middle School, Sumner County Schools. Randolph Howe Elementary, Murray County Public Schools. Red Bank Elementary School, Hamilton County Schools. Red Bank High School, Hamilton County Public Schools. Sequoia High School, Monroe County Schools. Waterville Elementary School, Bradley County Schools. Congratulations. We know that behind every school and every teacher, there is a leader there that is passionately supporting their staff, their students, and their community. Tennessee is filled with an enormous amount of outstanding leaders. And tonight, I have the honor to recognize both our 2020 and 2021 STEM Excellence in Leadership Award. Our 2020 Excellence in STEM Leadership Award was earned by Mr. Tommy Elliott, principal at Whitehaven Elementary. Tommy is passionate about his team in Whitehaven Elementary and providing tools and strategies to support educators in creating meaningful lessons. He has served as a supporting faculty member with Tennessee STEM Innovation Network for the Innovative Leaders Institute. Under his leadership, Whitehaven Elementary School has received numerous accolades, including being one of the first 15 schools in the state to earn Tennessee STEM designation. Congratulations, Tommy Elliott, for earning this incredible honor and continuing to make STEM in Tennessee a priority. The 2021 Excellence in STEM Leadership Award goes to Dr. Hans Ballou, principal at Northview Primary County in Sevier County. Dr. Ballou is paving the STEM pathway at Northview Primary by creating a STEM culture that is valued by all and where innovative ideas are encouraged. He is known for his unique morning announcements that drive students to focus on design thinking. Dr. Ballou becomes an active participant in student learning and has a passion for setting up multiple STEM pathways for his students to succeed. He is an active member of the East Tennessee STEM Innovation Hub and advocates with community members to be a part of the STEM culture at Northview Primary. Congratulations, Dr. Hans Ballou, our 2021 Excellence in STEM Leadership recipient.
All right. Thank you, Kristen. That is wonderful. So I think what we're going to do next is we're going to bring Drew back, and we are going to have a little bit more magic added to the experience this evening. Drew?
We sure are. And I have to be honest, I should teach you guys something, right? You want to learn a trick? I mentioned before the magic is just a problem that you can't solve. And that's really all it is. I'm going to show you right now a puzzle. It's a problem. Kind of looks like a magic trick. And you can use this if you'd like with your kids or your students and challenge them a bit. This is something that I learned when I was in the 4th grade. Our teacher walked around the room, handed all of us a $1 bill, and he cut a little door out of the front of it. And we knew it was the front because he also wrote front on the bill. It's also a federal offense, so don't do that. And here's the challenge. If you would hold onto the door, the little trap door there, we have to think about this for a second. You know, oftentimes you hear, to be creative, you have to think outside of the box. Let's imagine that this is the box. And you quoted Albert Einstein earlier about problem solving, but Albert Einstein also said that creativity is just intelligence having fun. That's all it is. So how do we get you through the box? How do we get you through the door to where you're no longer looking at the front, but you're looking at the back? Without folding it or tearing, or should I say without jumping around the outside, without tearing it, and of course, without turning your hand around. How do we do that? Well, this was an excellent lesson for us as kids because for the next 45 minutes, we all gathered in teams. We collaborated with others, sometimes others that we argued with, and we were forced to learn how to get through the box. Of course, the deal was whoever could figure it out would get to keep the $1. So.
Big money.
Big money, yeah. I'll show you how we do this here. Fold the sides in once. Fold the top and the bottom in like this. And now here, without letting go, we've sort of transported you from the front to the back. I'll do one more time for the people watching at home if they want to see this and study this. You can also find this by looking up the $1 bill trapdoor mystery, right? So there we are. Insides, top and bottom. And you have a very steady hand, by the way, which makes this easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, with kids, it's not so easy. I mean, everything just goes in reverse.
Wow.
Just like that. But I do need the $5. I have to. Hope you enjoyed that.
All right, the $1 bill trapdoor trick. I'm doing that at home with my own kids. They're gonna love that. All right, so up next we have Misty Brown, STEM Relationship Manager. She's looking forward to sharing our statewide Student Design Challenge winners with everyone. Come on up, Misty.
Thank you so much, Brandy. I have a feeling if I tried that with my kids, they would just take the money and run, so maybe not. I am so lucky to be able to announce the Student Design Challenge winners. So the Student Design Challenge, it's an annual event, and it's open to all grade levels, K through 12. Every year, a theme is selected, and then a driving question is crafted. And it's to get students to really think outside of those boxes and think about the real-world problems. So the real and relevant issues that are actually presented in the Student Design Challenge, they provide a platform for students to stretch their thinking and to expand those horizons and to really reflect on their place in their own community because it's focused for Tennessee. The unique and evolving challenges that grant students this multi-level competitive arena also equip them with the presentation and communication skills that connect them to STEM in a tangible and concrete way. The winners of the 2020 Student Statewide Design Challenge focused their problem-solving skills on the issue of food deserts and food insecurity in Tennessee. They amazed their teachers, regional judges, state judges, and the TSIN staff with imaginative and forward-thinking presentations and concepts. We'd like to honor those winners with the extended congratulations to them a little bit later and present a little presentation to them as a special tribute. So, with the Elementary Excellence in Innovation Award, we have Farms for the Hungry, Madison Fuqua and Rachel McDonald from Station Camp Elementary in Sumner County. With the Middle School Excellence in Innovation Award, Growing the Workforce of Farmers and Agriculturists, Anna Cruz, Emiliano Cruz, Caleb Jackson, and Aiden Galloway from West Collierville Middle School in Collierville School District. The High School Excellence in Innovation Award goes to Protecting Crops with Ultrasound, Quentin Bentley, Capri Wall, Faith Holzclaw, Maddie Mullins, all from DBXL in Kingsport City Schools. And our best overall winner is the Fruit Transporter Backpack Device by Dylan Weber from Discovery School in Murfreesboro City Schools. Congratulations, and thank you so much for your participation in the Statewide Design Challenge. Now, the latest iteration of the Statewide Design Challenge recognized the innovator in all of us. Under the vast thematic umbrella of social entrepreneurship, students were actually encouraged to address an issue that was meaningful to them or to their community. This allowed for a tremendous variety in products and ideas that students were able to create. It made it extremely challenging as a judge at the regional and the state competition to see such incredible ideas coming from our kids. So, with our partners, Launch TN, we were able to provide a unique environment this time. If you made it through the regional challenges and you were going to be going to the state challenge, you were provided a mentor. And so these kids got to work with STEM professionals in order to perfect their presentations. So thank you to the partners from Launch TN, to the teachers, the student participants. TSIN would like to congratulate the winners of the 2021 Statewide Design Challenge for both the grade band and special award winners. We are so proud of your innovative problem solving. You have accomplished great things already. With excellence in innovation at the elementary level, Greenleaf Bioplastic by Forrest Norton and Alex Jorgrev from Overall Creek Elementary School in Murfreesboro City Schools. These two boys are our only team, and they were so collaborative and so energetic. Describe why STEM education is important.
I think it's important because in many things you use science in life.
It's like just easier to learn because you can actually like feel it and like do it by yourself. And so it's just like being at home and doing an experiment, but you're with the class.
They're so cute. I can't help it. The Excellence in Innovation Award for middle school goes to Recover by Jeff Blumberg in White Station Middle School in Shelby County. And Jeff is an incredibly environmentally thoughtful young man with his presentation.
STEM education is important because it's literally the future of the world, and pretty much everyone who learns about STEM has a chance to help humanity progress as, I guess, this species.
I completely agree. For the High School Excellence in Innovation Award, we have Privacy Please by Riley Adams at DBXL in Kingsport City Schools. Riley really pushed herself to come up with something that was not only important to her, but very helpful to others. With your participation in the Statewide Design Challenge, what was the favorite part of the challenge for you?
I think that my favorite part was probably having the opportunity to work out some problems that I've had all my life with presenting to bigger crowds or just other people. I have a lot of stage fright whenever it comes to new people, and sometimes I can be a little bit shy, but I liked being able to work with that.
We had 2 special award winners this year. For the Blue Sky Award for Innovative Thinking, we have the Sanitizing Cannon by Jacoby Clemens, Eastside Elementary School in Haywood County. This incredible young man really took to the sky being the limit.
My favorite part of the statewide design challenge is testing myself, seeing how far I could go, seeing what I could actually do, seeing what I did, and like seeing what I could have done, and like looking back and saying like, this is what I did for myself, so I can actually push me, so I could go far new limits.
And our final award from the Statewide Design Challenge is the Volunteer Award for Design Process Excellence. This award goes to the Sharing Kitchen by Aaliyah Ray from Rose Park Middle School in Metro Nashville Schools. Aaliyah was an incredibly composed young lady and so thoughtful in her answers. She was a joy to interview.
I knew that having a business took a lot of work. I didn't necessarily have a set business idea, but I thought it'd be pretty cool to have a business. This project has helped me be more confident, and I know what a business now entails, like in detail, and this definitely makes me more confident in the future. And these challenges are great for kids to learn more and to be able to experience new things that they wouldn't usually be able to.
Congratulations to all the winners in 2020 and 2021. I also have the pleasure to announce the winners of the Tennessee STEM Advocate Award, both for 2020 and 2021. So the STEM Advocate Award recognizes a Tennessean who has demonstrated a passion for STEM education through public advocacy and their participation in leadership organizations. All of this to advance STEM for all. The winner of the 2020 STEM Advocate Award is Candace Halbert. Candace is the founder of the Youth Outreach in STEM, where she's currently serving as president. She founded Youth Outreach to address a need that she saw in her community. As a woman of color in the sciences, Candace is passionate about encouraging girls of color in pursuing STEM fields. Youth Outreach is a nonprofit that works with underserved communities in East Tennessee to address the lack of diversity in STEM fields. And to date, they have engaged over 1,000 students in East Tennessee with hands-on STEM experiences and career exploration activities. TSIN extends their congratulations and appreciation to Candace Halbert, our 2020 STEM Advocate Award winner. We also have a special award winner for 2021. If you are from the East Tennessee region, you have to be familiar with Dr. Lynn Hodge. Lynn is a professor of mathematics education at the University of Tennessee, where she serves as the director for the Center for Enhancing Education in Mathematics and Science, and she's the director of the STEM education programs, including the East Tennessee STEM Network Hub. Excuse me. Dr. Hodge is also the co-director of Vols Teach, where it's a program focusing on undergraduates in math, science, and engineering who are also interested in exploring careers in secondary teaching. So she's getting those innovative minds into the classroom as well. The East Tennessee STEM Hub impacts countless students. It provides them outreach through community events and through STEM activities, and it's also supporting educators with lending libraries, direct connections with real-world STEM applications or even professionals, and innovative, high-quality professional development. Through her advocacy, she has expanded the reach from the hub to rural areas and to underrepresented groups. As a woman of color in a STEM field, Dr. Hodge recognizes the importance of STEM for all and has worked tirelessly to increase quality STEM access education, quality access to STEM education for all students. TSIN would like to thank Dr. Lynn Hodge for her advocacy of STEM education, her contributions to her community, and for her love of STEM. Congratulations, Dr. Hodge, as the STEM 2021 STEM Advocate Award winner.
Thank you, Misty. I cannot think of two more deserving STEM advocates in the state of Tennessee. Candace, Lynn, thank you for all the work that you do. You inspire us just to make STEM experiences available for every student. Thank you, Misty. All right, so I think we're moving into another entertainment segment.
Have you been practicing?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you're up. Let's see your next trick.
Oh, no, just kidding.
You know, as I was listening to the awards and seeing what all of these educators across the state do, I couldn't help to think that they're reinforcing the importance of collaboration, right, within the communities and within the schools. So right now we're going to test your problem-solving abilities as a team. And of course, if you fail, then everyone is going to be able to see this. So we'll start. Yeah, no pressure. We'll start over here. And your first name?
Kristen.
Kristen. Okay, Kristen, would you hold that for me? Kristen, I have a dice. Now, I'm using a dice because I don't want anyone at home to think that I just told you beforehand to think of a number. I gave you $5 to think of a number. So, and just so we don't lose it off the camera there, can you take the dice, just roll it and show everybody? We'll get, hopefully. It's
not rehearsed.
This is not part of the charcuterie board, by the way.
Okay.
Go ahead and just roll the dice. I want you to show. Okay, so that's like a 3, and we'll roll, and you see we get 3 again. Not proving my point. 2. Okay, different numbers. Go ahead and roll it one more time. I'll keep it. That was my fault.
Away from me.
I'll keep it in frame so they can see in camera. Let's see. Well, we're able to see that. Come in tighter. Here, roll a little bit tighter for me. Okay, so we're gonna get a 2-digit number. This is a 4, so we'll go 4. Then I'll hand it to you as well if you wanna roll. Second digit, 6, 46. We used 46 earlier. Do that again for me. 43. Okay, just so they know, we're using different things. 43. I'm going to put a clock to this because I like a little bit of pressure. I'll give this to you. You're going to click start when I say start. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of mental gymnastics to try to show you 43. Now, if you were to ask anyone to show you 43, they would do this, right? Or someone may spell it out. But as we learn, STEM teaches us to see things differently, right? And then to collaborate with others to find the solution to the problem. So if you would, please, go ahead and give me a countdown, and then you'll go ahead and start. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, start the clock. So that's 23, and then 1, 7, 8. Think happy thoughts. It's really gonna help me out here. 22 in the corner. How am I on time? Where are we at? 14 seconds. Jeez, okay. It's a 10 and a 3. I don't need the pressure, thank you, I got it. 4, 24, 6, and 9. And then go ahead and stop if you would. Okay, all right. Just under 30 seconds. And I have now found 43. I'll explain, okay. What did I say earlier? We need to use collaboration to find the solutions to the problem. How do we find 43 through the chaos, right? Well, as we've learned in the last year, we can push through any sort of chaos, any sort of trouble that we have in front of us and find a straight line to the solution. Do me a favor, give me a row or a column, 1, 2, 3, or 4. 2, row 2. Check this out. 11 plus 8, it's 19. Plus 2, 21. Takes you all the way across, that is 43. And you're not impressed, and that's okay. Because it's not just the middle column here, it's actually this column as well. That's a 5, a 10, and a 3. That takes you to 18 plus 25 is 43, the number that you rolled. 4 and 24, 28, plus 6 and 9, that takes you as well to 43, that direction. She's doing the math. Okay, yes.
I'm double checking. Yeah.
23 and 1, that's 12 and 7. What, you don't trust me? That's 40. 43, 43, 43, every single direction, every single combination, it takes you to 43. But here's what's even crazier. If we go vertically, see 23 and 11 and 5 and 4, 1 and 8 and 10 and 24, 12, 22, 3 and 6 and 9. If you need to take a screenshot at home and check my math, you can. Every single direction, every single combination takes us to 43. But now you're starting to see everything come full circle. Where else do you guys see 43? Diagonal, that's right. See 23 and 8, 3 and 9, that takes you to 43. Which one as well? The other diagonal, you guessed it. Every single corner, all of these numbers, all of these numbers, all of these numbers take you to 43. And when we work together, that's how we can find the answers to the solution, sometimes in record time. That's how we can really blow our minds. But what blows my mind is when you hit stop, you stopped us exactly at 29.14. What's 29 plus 14? 43. Okay, now think of your social security number. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back.
I know all of our math teachers tuning in enjoyed that. If you would like Drew to come to your classroom and teach about adding, that would be fantastic. All right, so coming up next, I cannot wait for you to hear from my colleague, Becky Ash, Director of Professional Learning and Innovation, as she highlights our final set of award winners. Come on up, Becky.
Woohoo. Yeah, so all that good karma you're sending to Drew, send this way now. Okay, so in a year when every school was forced to change, we are thrilled to get to recognize schools that not only adapted to teaching in a pandemic, but they continued their journey towards STEM designation. Completing the application, going through the process, and you've all applied for awards. It's doing all of those folders and making sure that you've documented the artifacts that truly tell your story. The schools that did that over this past year and reached that level of achievement that we recognize as STEM designation include the following. For 2021, the new STEM designated schools are Battle Creek Elementary School, Murray County Public Schools; Campus Elementary School, University of Memphis, Shelby County Schools; Cason Lane Academy, Murfreesboro City Schools; Fort Loudon Middle School, Loudoun County Schools; George Washington Elementary, Kingsport City Schools; Indian Lake Elementary, Sumner County Schools; John P. Freeman Optional School, Shelby County Schools; Kenwood Middle School, Clarksville Montgomery County Schools; Lenoir City Intermediate Middle School, Lenoir City Schools; Northview Primary School, Sevier County Schools; Rose Park Math and Science Magnet, Metro Nashville Public Schools; T-STEM Academy at East High School, Shelby County Schools; William H. Brewster Optional School, Shelby County Schools. A big well done and how do you do to these new 2021 STEM designated schools. Now, I kind of feel like that last presenter on the Oscars where they saved the biggest one for last. And it is my true honor to get to recognize some people who have definitely made an impact in STEM education across the state of Tennessee. Tennessee STEM Innovation Network awards the STEM Innovator of the Year award to those individuals who have made impacts that stretch beyond the four walls of their classroom or their school and have started ripple effects. We know that innovators are sometimes called disruptors, aggravators, instigators, experimenters, but we also know them to be visionary and inspiring and aspirational people that motivate others to want to have the same kind of positive impact. We are so pleased to recognize the 2020 STEM Innovator of the Year, Mr. Dan Caldwell. When Dan earned this recognition in 2020, he was the senior manager for learning pathways at Nissan in Smyrna. Dan has served on the STEM Executive Council Leadership, STEM Advisory Executive Council. I'll get it in a second. From that position, he could always be counted on to come up with the idea that made connections that nobody else saw. Dan's ability to connect K-12 education and the challenges he saw and heard about happening in the schools to what's going on in the workforce and the needs of the workforce pipeline were inspirational to other people on the council. From his single suggestions, all kinds of connections and new programs were given birth. That is the impact of an innovator. And as a true innovator, he doesn't stay put. So he's expanding his impact now. We want to recognize that as we are recognizing his award now, he has moved to take his unique perspective as the Senior Manager of Manufacturing Learning at the North American Electrolux plant. We congratulate Dan on winning the 2020 STEM Innovator Award from the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network. Congratulations, Dan. And then for 2021, again, one of those individuals whose impact extends far beyond the four walls of his classroom and his school building even. We knew this man was an innovator when we were interviewing schools for STEM designation, and his name came up in more than one school, even though he's not a district employee. He's not a principal. He's a teacher with a passion. The 2021 Tennessee STEM Innovation Network Innovator of the Year goes to Mr. Keith Booker, STEM teacher and lead CTE teacher at T-STEM at East High in Shelby County Schools. We are thrilled to recognize the contributions of this man who started programming at Maxine Smith STEAM Academy. The impact and energy and passion that he brought into the classroom for his students, and then it bled over into the classrooms of his colleagues. And then when T-STEM opened up as a pipeline from the middle school, Mr. Booker moved over to the high school and continued to spread his magic pixie dust there. He's been able to connect the students at T-STEM to professionals in various aspects of the transportation industry, which is what T-STEM focuses on. Through his innovative problem-solving, collaboration, and just fun personality, Mr. Booker has inspired his students at T-STEM, just like he did at Maxine Smith, but more importantly, his colleagues. And now he has the attention at Central Office, and we were excited to hear of other schools in the Shelby County schools who are also considering the same kind of innovative and unique programming. Hats off and congratulations to you, Mr. Keith Booker, the 2021 STEM Innovator of the Year.
All right, I have to say just really quickly, I have had the pleasure of working with Dan and Keith very closely. They both, Becky, like you said, they are true innovators and just want students to have the most memorable experience possible. And we want you to have the most memorable experience possible. So we're going to bring Drew out one more time. Come on, Drew.
Great, thank you. And as I was listening to those, I couldn't help but to think back to when I was in school. I had an amazing teacher. His name was Mr. Kovach, and he was an innovator, and he was a builder, and he taught us how to use hands-on learning to solve problems. He actually taught us something using a napkin, a picnic napkin, that I'll show you here, because I think it also tells a nice story. You see, what we had to do as kids was we gathered around, again in groups. I teamed up with the ones that figured out the dollar bill. And the challenge was, how can you take a single napkin, and by only folding it a few times, how can you tear it? One tear, one chance, and make a circle from a square napkin. So we thought about this. Now the catch was we would only receive one napkin, right, per class. So if you tore it, then that was tough. But we would fold and refold, plan our moves. We'd make marks on the napkin and figure out and have to think not only 2D, but also 3D, and think geometrically, how is this napkin going to react when we finally make that tear? And what we found is when we worked together, of course, as a class and as a team, that's how we can make the impossible seemingly become possible. I'm gonna have you do me a favor. Sure. No pressure, but I need you to tear off just that little section that we just tore out. Just, yep, right there. Okay, great. Now, what Mr. Kovach showed us is when we reach for the moon, even if we miss, we will hit the stars, but we were able to make what looked like a moon. A perfect circle from the napkin. And this blew our minds, right? On the first tear, to be able to have a perfect circle. But what really blew our minds, well, what we saw next, is it actually was not a perfect circle. It was about teamwork. It was about innovating. It was about all of the work that you're doing across the state, empowering these kids to be the stars of the future.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, yes, thank you so much, Drew. All right, so in closing, we are getting closer to a day when all kids have the STEM skills to grow our economy, discover new cures, solve new and old mysteries, and address the most pressing challenges of tomorrow. We're working towards each child having the opportunity to dream big, and to have a pathway to realize those dreams. Please keep up this important work. Thank you to all of the awardees and teachers across the state for the hard work that you've put into this year. It's through your tireless efforts to bring the best and most innovative education tools into your classrooms every day that makes everyone's life better. And that is something truly worth celebrating. There is no power for change greater than a community that discovers what it cares about. And we care deeply about helping students feel hopeful about the future. The work you all are doing strengthens Tennessee's communities and schools. Now, if you want to connect with others, join our networking session, which you'll find directly below me. Say hello to old friends, maybe make a new connection. The networking sessions will be open for the next 45 minutes. Please join us tomorrow for exciting learning sessions and engaging speakers. We'll hear from Commissioner Schwinn, the Chief of Space Operations for the United States Space Force, General Jay Raymond, and the author of The Creativity Leap, Natalie Nixon. And of course, Drew will be back with us, so you do not want to miss it. Now, this is the moment where you break out dessert and party poppers if you have them, and make a toast to being resilient leaders. Good night, everybody.